I thought that I wanted to grow up like my dad, wear a white jacket in the hospital. So I wanted to be a doctor ever since I was a little girl. I'm the program coordinator for leadership, community, and camps here at Western Mustangs in the Sport and Recreation Services Department. I think when I graduated from health sciences and I was looking to what was next, I came upon this opportunity that was so incredible, and I took it and I said yes. So a door opened and I walked right through it. And so really it was at the end of my last year and that I decided that I was going to be the person who I am today. I think there are so many, and it's that story of picking up stones and you never know when they might turn into a jewel the next day. So I think this might even go back to grade 10, grade 11 when I first went to the Ontario Educational Leadership Centre. I spent a week there. It was a summer camp experience that quickly turned into much more than that. It's a leadership center where you get nominated to go, and quickly I met so many like-minded people that I didn't always meet in my school or in my sports teams. And quickly I learned the skills of what it means to be a good team player, what it means to communicate well, what it means to be a leader, and what are the different leadership styles that I have myself, and how do I use them in different situations. And quickly I learned that OELC became so much more than a place that I went to for one summer. I started going back, and more opportunities came. I became a youth facilitator. And as I grew with the organization, I became a teacher facilitator. And these opportunities have taught me how to bring different groups of people together, build community, and how to help them achieve a sense of self and of a team identity. And through that, when I became a varsity athlete here at Western, I was helping to run orientation for first-year varsity athletes. And I guess I was at the right place at the right time doing the things that I love to do, which I guess you can call them some camp games to help the first-year varsity athletes get to know one another. And then I guess I was doing it in front of the right person. Trace Quickly, our Director of Sport and Recreation Services, was in the room, and she came up to me after the session and said, "I'd love to chat with you sometime in my office and talk about opportunities that we have here at Western Mustangs." And then I guess the rest became history, and here we are today. I remember sitting in first year social determinants of health in health sciences, and I remember thinking, everything I thought I knew about healthcare wasn't what I was learning in this class. So there was this huge disconnect between my expectations and my reality of what my degree was going to be. And that was a moment where it shook me, but yet I think I still wanted to be a doctor because I knew I wanted to be a doctor with such conviction, I knew. And then second year came and some other courses informed me what healthcare is and what it will be after I graduate. And I still doubted that, I knew I was going to be a doctor, and I wasn't accepting, I guess, facts that I was seeing right in front of my eyes. And it was it was a huge internal struggle in figuring out, well, that was my identity for my entire life that I've known. And that's all being shattered right now because of these important pieces and knowledge that I was learning with my degree. And I think getting over that and accepting the fact that it's okay that you don't want to be what you thought you always wanted to be, that's okay. It's okay if you don't become what your dad was, and dad will understand. And it's okay that you don't know what you want to be today because tomorrow a great opportunity could come your way. And I think it was accepting and learning those lessons. Perhaps I'm still learning those lessons, but I think those have been my biggest roadblocks and perhaps will be. Sometimes I think that there's this parallel universe of myself where I'm not here right now, and perhaps I'm still in China with my cousin, with my aunt, with my grandparents, where I grew up. And I think that life would be such a complete different life. So I think coming to Canada with my dad when I was 10 years old has been the single most pivotal moment in my life that has shaped me to be who I am today. I remember I was 10 years old and we were standing in line in Vancouver getting our immigration papers stamped and waiting to come to this new country. And I had no idea that Canada had even existed at 10 years old. And I didn't know Canada existed and how great this place was, and how this place quickly taught me that I can be anything that I want to be in this world. And I think that experience on its own has made Shanshan to be the person that she is today. And I think it was through those experiences and learning, as we moved a lot when we were first here. I learned to make friends quickly. I learned to start conversation and embracing who I am. Although I was always the odd duck, I dressed differently, I didn't speak the language, my food was different, everything about me was different, and and at times I was bullied for being different. And those experiences I also hold them dear to my heart today in the work that I do. So I think just growing up and having my personal story and owning my story really shaped me to be who I am and why I chose to be here today. I think this job gives me the opportunity to do something different every day with leadership, community, and camps. These three intersections are at the core, are very impactful. At the core, it's very meaningful work, and I get to shape it to be what it can be every single day, and every single day can be different. And I think those experiences by going to camp and knowing what camp can be, the ideal world, and how magical that world can be, I think I love to recreate that experience for other generations. And I think it's such a dream come true, is never growing up and living life in camp always, and living life in a space where people care about their community, where people talk about big words like let's communicate better, or let's work better as a team. And when you get the opportunity for a moment to make people question why they think the way they think, or what their perspective is and why they think that's correct, and the moment you get to challenge people on those difficult questions, I think that's been the most meaningful of this job. Someone has to run camps, and that person could be me, and I just never realized that. I think that I hear that a lot these days, and there are so many different opportunities that we don't know about, we don't hear about, we can't possibly imagine. I've always loved to volunteer, but can you imagine coordinating opportunities for people to volunteer? That's something else. That's almost the ultimate way to give your time and in meaningful ways. And thinking about bringing groups of people together. I love meeting people. I love interactions with people. But I never thought someone could do just that, bring people together. So I think maybe it was a combination of finding things that I love to do and then mushing them together, and then someone say, hey, I got a job for you. And then all of a sudden it exists. So I truly believe we create our own luck, and luck is really showing up. You know, if you show up consistently, doing the things that you love to do, doing the things that you're good at, in some way, shape, or form, a package will come to you and it'll give you a direction of what's next. And it could be a meaningful experience. It could be an opportunity to try something new, or it could be your next career. So it's recognizing those moments where doors open and then just walking through them with faith that you can do it and taking that risk. And then one day it could flourish into something that you could never imagine. Those classes that you don't want to take based off the syllabus because it's got a group project in it and it's worth 40% of your mark, those are the classes that you have to take. It's in those experiences that you learn to work with people. You learn a lot about yourself, actually, in the way that you interact with people. And if you just take a moment to reflect on the person you were at the end of that group project meeting, and keep on thinking how you can be a better version of yourself at the next meeting, or perhaps with the next group project. So take risk and fail hard, and because it's school, and school is a place where it's meant for you to learn. And so take those opportunities in those classes, those tough classes that challenge you to work with other people, because I find that in the workplace today, that's a big part of my day-to-day, that I'm constantly navigating. How do I communicate better with this person, or how do I communicate better with this team? And what kind of person am I today, and do my staff like me today? And it's answering those questions that I never thought I would actually get from a group project. So those were really meaningful experiences for me. But also, I think I wish I had talk to my professors more. I wish I had gone to talk to my TAs more, because I find that it's a challenge as a young adult, a young professional in a workplace setting, to talk to superiors that may be a little bit intimidating. And I think those experiences you can practice from the get-go when you're in first year. Talk to the professors, because yes, they have more knowledge, and yes, they have a doctor before their name, and that can be intimidating. But learning those skills are critical to success in the workplace. From the moment that I knew, had an awareness of my surroundings, and I wanted to be like my dad, I wanted to be a doctor. And I think when we came to Canada, it wasn't until later did I really kind of reflect on that experience. My dad was this person he was a single parent. He had a business in Beijing, and he left all that behind. And really, he's what I like to call a life entrepreneur, because he packed up his bags, he brought his 10-year-old daughter and came to a country where he didn't really know the culture, he doesn't really speak the language, he doesn't have any relatives or many friends. He just wanted to forge his own pathways. And I think my dad, and that courage and his risk-taking really has taught me that you can be anything in this world, and you can shape your pathways. And he is a perfect example of not having just one career. But as he's continuing to build his career path here in Canada, he's been a huge role model for me, and he's really a warrior and showing me what we can be here in Canada. But also, I think my dad and I are close in the sense that he's my dad, he's my mom, he's my mentor, he's my role model, he's my superhero. He supported my way through school, and he's busy, and I don't know how he does it. So one day I would love to have the opportunity to help him and buy him a house. And it's no longer in the language of when I become a doctor, Dad, I'll buy you a house. It's Dad, when I grow up, I'm gonna get you a house. So that language has shifted. And it's so great to see my dad fully embrace that. And I wasn't sure that he always was going to, but it's very clear that he's fighting for me, and he's with me every way along this journey into becoming an adult. The most important advice I might have is to go through university with an open heart, an open mind, open arms, open shoulder, just open everything. Just be a sponge and take it all in, and don't judge quite yet, because you don't know what you're judging just yet. Take it all in first. Learn as much as you can. Experience all the things that Western has to offer, and go out, have a good time, meet new people, and network. And also know that Western is a place where if you invest your experience, Western will give you 100-fold back to your investment. And just be who you can be for the next 4 years, and don't judge yourself quite yet. Let yourself become that person first, and then see where it takes you. And take those risks. Don't be afraid of failure, because that's what school's all about. And just go and do it.